Hey family, so welcome back to Related to Medicine. So what this week I am reading this book called The Soul of Medicine, and here's what it looks like. And so it says The Soul of Medicine: Tales from the Bedside by Sherwin B. Nuland, winner of the National Book Award. And this book was recommended to me a few years ago by my mother's nephrologist, and it just talks about bedside manner, and the story is told from um, 21 different perspectives from 21 different doctors. So it's pretty interesting to hear the different stories from the different professions. And so, like, for example, the titles of the chapters are End and Tail. And so it's the surgeon's tale, the family physician's tale, the dermatologist's tale, and so on and so on. And so I just want to read a little bit of the beginning here that talks about the his background and why he chose to write this story. And I can identify with some of these things because I like to write my thoughts in writing in the morning or before bed. And so this is great. And so in the prologue, he talked about, he said, like all doctors, I collect stories over his 30 years in the practice of surgery and afterward. He said, I have heard many case narratives and personal recollections, and more than a few of them have stuck so fast in my mind that I can recall details just as they were told to me. Some of the stories are interesting for their own sake, but go far beyond mere factual description to teach lessons. In certain ways, they are the lessons of humanity itself, with all its wondrous gifts and its failings. In others, the things to be considered are unique to medicine, whether as a branch of science or an aspect of the relationship between individuals. Within the covers of this book lies, with only the faintest of apologies to Geoffrey, a sort of Canterbury Tales of medicine. So every transaction between doctor and patient is a transaction in personal and professional ethics, and it is also an exercise in confidentiality. The ethical obligations are sometimes obvious and other times obscure. For such reasons, I have in certain cases found it useful to add a commentary to a story, while I have chosen merely to tell the other tales as first person narratives in the way they were told to me. In this, I have tried to approximate the manner of the original storyteller because I believe writing in that ways to the immediacy of what is being read. All right. As for confidentiality, I have employed a simple and common use device using the medical facts to reconstruct a series of events in which everything but those facts is so well disguised that the identity of patient, doctors, and other individuals is hidden. In doing this, I have changed far more than names. A tall man may appear here as short. A name of one ethnicity is usually changed to another. The director of a music collection may be put in charge of a rare book library. A patient may be giving a university degree he never had. Some of the stories have required very little alteration and some far more. But the important thing about all of them is that the medical facts in the following pages are just as they happen. This is a book of nonfiction. Writing it in this way has allowed me to do certain other things that I had not anticipated at the outset. Because almost all of the physicians are men and women for whom I have long had high regard. It has given me the opportunity to demonstrate aspects of the ethics of medicine and the ways in which certain technological changes in patient advocacy groups have affected them or may affect them in the future. I describe that connection between two people that we call the doctor patient relationship and the other relationship between a mentor and student so important to the perceptuation of medical knowledge, judgment, wisdom, and character. Doctors have particular ways of approaching certain kinds of problems, many of which have found their way into this book. And so that's his backstory on why he wrote this book. And I look forward to reading this book this week and sharing with you guys next week what I find in the different stories about bedside manner and the different stories that doctors share. And I will talk to you guys again soon.